Hello, it's the second day of October 2024. Good afternoon and welcome to Hits News at 1. This bulletin is coming to you live from our studio at Ghana Post address GA0993341 and on your radio on Hits 103.9 FM. You can follow Hits FM on X at Hits 1039 FM and on Facebook at facebook.com/at Hits 103.9 FM. And you can also get all the stories on myjoyonline.com and adumonline.com. Hits News at 1 is powered by Hits FM and sponsored by Betway. Remember to also join us via our live Facebook feed. Your thoughts are welcome. And coming up in our bulletin today, doing songs about Galamsey isn't enough. This is coming from musician Amirado. And also, my parents raised 15 of us in a chamber and hall. This is coming from gospel musician Celestine Donko. And in mainline news, countdown to the nationwide strike organized by labor against illegal mining, a move that could cripple the economy. Leadership insists their motivation is not political, but driven by a genuine commitment to saving the environment. These and many more here on the News Bulletin. My name is Doreen Avio. Do not go anywhere. Right, welcome back. This is Hits News at 1 and starting with our first story. Kwekwa Nancy hitmaker Amirado has asserted that even though musicians are influential in causing social change, it takes more than songs to curb illegal mining in Ghana. He told Joy FM's journalist Kwame Dadzi on Showbiz A to Z that someone with power must take the responsibility of making sure the menace, popularly known as Galamsey, is stopped. According to him, some musicians have done songs on Galamsey, but effecting the desired change should come from the leaders of the country. Now, he went on to say a lot more, but he said that we can do the songs, but the songs can travel all over the world. But who is taking the action? Let's hear from Amirado.
So just yesterday on Joy Prime, KMJ hosted some of us and we were talking about this whole Galamsey thing and how some celebrities are being bashed for not taking part. And I was saying that I know some of them have released songs like Stoneboy has Greedy Men.
Yeah.
Kofi Kinata has done a song about illegal mining also.
Yeah.
But if you go and check the number of views or streams of those songs to their party songs, Musica also did one in 2018.
Yes, I think there were a lot of artists on it.
Yes. In 2018, it was in collaboration with Arusha Ghana. I remember that one as well. But the thing is, just as you just mentioned, the ordinary Ghanaian on the street wants to listen to a party song, a love song.
Yeah.
So if you are not streaming and supporting the song on social change.
Okay, so Kwame, not to cut you off. Doing the music about Galamsey would only create awareness, but who is taking the action? After the song, what next? Who is taking the action for us to be able to stop that Galamsey we are talking about? We can do the songs. The songs can travel all over Ghana, wherever the world, but who is taking the action? Who is in charge of making sure that all these things are being stopped?
Yeah.
And the musician is not in that position. I can do the song for you.
People can
but
listen,
are they listening? Are people ready to?
The leaders.
Are they ready?
Amirado is asking that are they ready to listen to the songs? Well, let's see how it goes. Now, away from that, my parents raised 15 of us in a chamber and hall. That's quite interesting. Now, gospel musician Celestine Donko, in a Grass to Grace edition of Just Being Assured, the challenges she encountered growing up in a compound house with 11 other neighbors, where her parents raised 15 of them in a hall and a chamber. Now, eulogizing her mom and the effort she made to ensure she and her siblings were well fed, the Agbebolo hitmaker disclosed that she and her siblings could not fathom how a particular pot their mother cooked in could satisfy all of them. So she and her siblings named it a miracle pot, describing the memory she holds of her younger years. She said sleeping on the couch was the order of the day.
I come from a family of 15, 12 years. It's a
From
large...
one mother, one father?
One mother, 12.
Hey.
And then my father Initially it was 2, and then when it was just about to exit life, we saw another one. So yeah,
Okay.
so it was just a humble home. It wasn't easy for parents like mine to take care of 15 siblings.
And all of
I grew up in a compound house. It was like 12 different families.
What kind of rooms were you occupying?
I remember very well, it was a chamber and a hall, sleeping in the couch. I thought the couch was actually the bed. Like, it was the norm. It was strange for me later in my life to actually have my own bed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I grew up sleeping on the couch, from the floor to the couch.
Wow, that's quite interesting, and I like it when, people are just honest. There's one thing I love about Celestine Donko. Now, moving on, Hip Life grandpapa Reggie Rockstone has shared his thoughts on social media and its impact on society. According to him, the current generation has it tough because of the availability of smartphones and the internet. Speaking exclusively to Patricia Roxon Hammond on Ghana Webs TV, of course, Rockstone highlighted the difference between his younger days and now. He hilariously stated that community gossip served as their version of social media, keeping people in check through local perceptions.
If I had to give you some advice, I would let you understand that show business is all smoke and mirrors. Perception is everything, but a lot of crap that you see on social media is not what it is. Obi on the Range Rover be and now he's slave queen. Make you not jealous somebody.
Yeah.
What's the man say? They go to Dubai and do all kinds of real sick stuff. And see, don't envy nobody, And with younger people, it's peer pressure. And my pressure bomb was saying, I mean, my mob ran and be here. Oh, how? Oh, how? But I'm old school. I didn't come from social media. I mean, some me buy and I'm starting my party, me better.
Reggie Rockstone will kill person, so you heard him right there. Now, moving on to mainline news. Organized labor is counting down to the October 10 deadline to strike in protest against illegal mining that could potentially cripple the economy. At an emergency meeting on Tuesday, October 1, organized labor expressed frustration with government's inaction, having set a September deadline for decisive measures to be taken against Galamsey, which they argue is devastating the environment and livelihoods of many Ghanaians. Now, Secretary General of the Trade Union Congress, Joshua Ansah, tells Joy News the president and the Albert Kandapa committee set up to deal with menace have been unresponsive to labor demands.
When we sent our petition to the president, in our petition demanding 3 terms from the president to be done. First is to declare state of emergency. Second is to revoke the LI 2422 and also ensure that the police and the army is deployed in the forest areas and the river bodies. So the illegal activity that is going on around these very important areas in our economy. On the subject, when we met a ministerial committee, actually listening to us, and they told us that we should give them a week for them to do further consultation with other societies, civil societies, and all the guys who have also complained or raised concerns about the guarantee management. We were waiting for something from the president, from the ministerial committee, which never came. So yesterday we met, and our decision is that if by 10th of October, government doesn't do anything positive about our demands, definitely you embark on the fix.
Right, away from that, government's response to the demands of organized labor could have implications for the chances of the NPP with almost 2 months to the general elections. However, the TUC Secretary General Joshua Ansah says their stance is motivated by the desire to protect the environment.
People are politicizing all the Galamsey issue. I think that organized labor is coming clear, it's coming clean with a good decision that this is a nationwide, this is a nation issue. It's affecting everybody in this country, and we should stop politicizing this issue. All what Labour is calling the government to do is to ensure that all political parties, be it MPP, NPP, CPP, whatever, to come and sign a pact on their position on this matter that is killing this very country. That is done. At least if you go out there and you are politicizing it, people will see how hypocrite you are, and they will not mind you. So this is all what we are calling for.
And also, independent presidential candidate Alan Tremantin at an IEA encounter proposes stiffer punishment for culprits of illegal mining.
The introduction of new legislation and regulations that will impose a complete ban on any form of mining in river bodies and forest reserves. That is a complete ban. Now, again, with an associated sanctions regime, including life imprisonment for the violation of these new laws. Ghanaians, you need to get to a point where when you punish them, they'll feel the impact of the punishment. If it's just a question of 10 years in jail, the amount of money that they may be getting from Galamsey, it will not be an enough deterrence. They will go in 10 years, come back and continue. So we have to be serious about how we deal with Galamsey.
Right, and still on mainline news, Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Dame has called on the police to expedite investigations into the 54 Democracy Hub demonstrations in custody, urging the release of those without sufficient evidence of wrongdoing. He also advised state prosecutors not to oppose bail applications when the case is heard on October 8. Mr. Dame made these remarks during an ongoing magistrates and judges conference in Accra.
Whilst acknowledging the legitimacy of concerns which motivate some protests, the state must deplore and, in fact, prosecute acts of protesters which threaten the running of essential services, infringe on the right to free movement of others, or attack the safety of security forces, because such acts endanger the entire society and have a real tendency to destroy the peace of the nation ahead of the upcoming elections. I can therefore understand it when the judiciary supports the work of law enforcement officers by dealing firmly in accordance with law. All acts of violence and lawlessness, especially as we go into election 2024. We cannot take the progress Ghana has made in establishing democracy as a way of life for granted. I urge the police service to swiftly conclude investigations by the next agenda date of the cases involving the prosecution of excesses for recent protests in Accra, so as to exclude by that date all those against whom sufficient evidence cannot be found to proceed further. I also advise the prosecution to consider relevant bail applications at the next agenda date of the cases.
All right, so you heard from him. And now to some international stories. More than 100 people are to sue rap musician Sean Diddy Combs for sexual assault, rape, and sexual exploitation. Now, a U.S. lawyer has said. Texas-based lawyer Tony Busby said that some of the alleged victims include minors who were abused when they were as young as 9 years old. Erica Wilf, a lawyer representing Mr. Combs, said the rapper emphatically and categorically denies the allegations, saying they are false and defamatory. Now, speaking at a news conference on Tuesday, Mr. Busby said he and his team will leave no stone unturned to find potentially liable parties in the alleged abuse or any individual or entity who participated in or benefited from this egregious behavior. Now, Mr. Combs was arrested last week and is still facing criminal charges of racketeering and sex trafficking. He's currently in federal custody after he was denied bail, which he is appealing, and he has denied all allegations of criminal wrongdoing.
My name is Tony Busby. I'm a lawyer here in Houston. I'm licensed in Texas and in New York. As many of you know, our law firm has been at the forefront of some of the most important litigation in the United States. We like the tough cases. We thrive in the complicated cases. We've handled over the last 25 years some very big and very important cases. I believe that this one may surpass them all. There are many facets to this. The conduct we will describe today occurred over more than 20 years. There are many people and many entities involved, and we're going to follow this evidence wherever it takes us. We will find the silent accomplices. We will expose the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors. We will pursue this matter, no matter who the evidence implicates. These brave victims who have stepped forward deserve nothing less. The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us with people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs. After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases. And you should know, to the extent the clients feel comfortable, we also intend to make these individuals available to the authorities, specifically to the FBI. And you should also know a few of them have already been spoken to by the FBI. Now, before we discuss the nature of the claims and claimants themselves, let me comment on the large volume of calls we have received since our first announcement. Even before the indictment of Sean Combs, we had received a small volume of calls and had screened a handful of cases. After the indictment of Sean Combs and the announcement that we were pursuing these claims, the floodgates opened. People who wouldn't otherwise, for a variety of reasons, are now stepping forward to make their voices heard and to pursue justice.
Right, and away from that, Michael White has reflected on his transformative experience in Ghana during his interview on Vlad TV, emphasizing how it significantly impacted his perspective on life and culture. He spoke about the beauty of the country and its rich history, conveying a sense of connection to his roots that he had never felt before. This journey inspired him to embrace his heritage and share that insight with others.
Right? I didn't feel the need to say African American. I felt exactly how they did. I've been to several countries in Africa and felt like, I was in, I went to Congo, I went to Djibouti, Rwanda, Nairobi, Kenya, South Africa. I was been in a lot of those places, and I'm going, hey, Black American, I'm proud. We've accomplished a great deal. Or do they really feel like we're connected? But until I went to Ghana, everything changed. Like what happened was I found out, I got roots in Ghana. That's my lineage. But I'm not one of those people who just like was going to get on the bandwagon. I'm back in Mother Africa and all this kind of stuff. But one thing that occurred to me is think about if you run into an Asian dude on the street and you say, well, where are you from? And he says, I'm from Cleveland. My people are from Cleveland. You'd be like, that's not right. Where are you from? No, Cleveland. It's stupid, right? It's silly to think that man's beginnings were from Cleveland. There's more to this story. It's exactly the same for us, for me. When I would say South Carolina and Louisiana, because my mother was from South Carolina, my father was from Louisiana, that's, even if I didn't know what lineage I had, that's part of the story. Just as much as the Asian do. When I think, I'm thinking the beginning of who I am is a slave. Deal with that for a second. I think my beginnings of my historical background started in South Carolina and Louisiana. What do you think that does to my psyche? Think about it for a second.
That's a good point.
And the fact that I knew that there was a bigger trek that started in Ghana. And believe me, I'm not one of those that I want to hold on to. No, I was cool being a Black American and very proud of it. But damn it, I realized that me telling myself that South Carolina was enough, that's some for me. I can only speak for me. But when I went back and the way I felt, man, I wish this for anybody Black living in this country.
All right, so that was Hollywood star Michael Jai White, bringing us to the end of the news bulletin. A very big thank you to you, Arnold, to Fidelis, to Wadood, and to you, DJ Fantastic. And thank you so much for doing the listening. But before I go, remember that with Betway, you're guaranteed to get more chances to play. Betway's Pick Your Prize lets you choose your preferred promotion to make the perfect play every week, from free flights to free spins. Plus, you also stand a chance to choose your own prize, from vouchers to electronics and the grand prize of an airline ticket. Visit betway.com.ga to find out more. Remember, terms and conditions applied. Is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. Betway, get way more. My name is Doreen Avio, and it's still the afternoon definition with